Hello everybody, how are you? This is Andreja and welcome to another episode of my Zodiac Chibis series. It is March, so this time it's Pisces' turn. Pisces is my sign too, so I am extra excited to give my design a really cute look, unlike most common interpretations out there. I decided to turn this chibi into a mermaid that has two little fish pets swimming around her. You will see that the design is quite simple and minimalistic, especially in regards to the color palette. But I think that it works really well and that will look amazing as a charm. Before I continue, let me quickly go over the basics for all of the new people watching this. So for this illustration I will use two programs. For the sketch I use Photoshop CC, and then for the line work and colors I use Adobe Illustrator. In terms of computer I have a Cintiq Companion 2, which also works as a tablet. Okay, now that we have that covered, let's jump into some Q&A. Question number 1. Why are you so good at art? Tell me your secrets, I need some cool kid to help me like you. You will probably not like my answer, but there are no secrets. To get better at art, you simply need to be committed and make it a priority. You have to love drawing so much that the love you have for it is way stronger than the everyday disappointment of making mistakes and art that is below your expectations. I don't know if you know this YouTube artist, her name is Furry Little Peach, but I think she was talking in one of her recent studio vlogs how your skill as an artist will always lag behind by about 3 years. So what you imagine in your head now, you will probably be able to properly put on paper in all of its glory and intricacy only 3 years later. And I totally agree with that. This is why you need that commitment, stubbornness and drive to want to be better, because things will always be challenging as an artist. There is basically no end to improving yourself. And let's not forget that behind each one beautiful illustration lies about 20 bad ones. But those ones are all stepping stones to get to the next level, and they are really necessary. So keep drawing, keep investing the time in your skill, because no one else can do that for you. It is all about your efforts. School didn't do much for me, so I can't really recommend it. And honestly speaking, the only students in my year that were successful after uni were the ones who were dedicated to their passion and worked on it in their own time. It wasn't because of school. It wasn't the school that made them awesome and hardworking. They were like that already before joining the school. I think that art school is not what makes you a good artist. It is similar to how, just like watching one tutorial does not make you draw like the artist in the video. There is a big gap between knowing something in theory and building a skill and master that theory in practice. So yeah, basically keep practicing, because it is really, honestly and brutally the only way to get better. Next question. Can you tell us the pros and cons of having an Etsy store? Sure, let's start with the pros. I would say making actual products and merch out of your work makes you feel really rewarded and excited and fulfilled. Then having people love that work so much that they are willing to spend their precious money to buy it gives you a massive confidence boost and adds value to your hard-earned skills. Then another cool thing about running your Etsy store would be that occasionally your clients leave you some super sweet comments as part of their order. And I had occasions where it totally melted my heart and made me cry. That connection that you get with your clients and knowing that part of you will live with them is really, really special. Also, I would say that packing can be really fun, at least for me. It forces me to take a break and turn off my brains for a few hours. In terms of cons, I would say it is stuff like bookkeeping and everything related to paying taxes and doing a lot of boring paperwork, and be aware of how much it costs you to create merch, because things can get really complicated really fast. Then worrying if you're giving yourself a decent salary. What about superannuation? Taking into account how much it took you to design something, how much time and materials have you spent for processing and sending out orders, driving to the post office, and so on. Then another big con would be when you undercharge for shipping and you lose hundreds of dollars. It happened to me a few times already, and it is because, for example, if someone buys 1 or 2 charms, shipping stays the same. But if they order 3 charms, the price doesn't just double, but it triples. And Etsy doesn't have a straightforward way to properly calculate shipping depending on size and weight. Well, unless you live in the US, then you have that option. So figuring out an average for shipping where I would not be losing too much money and at the same time I would not be overcharging people has been really, really challenging. Another con is when an order gets lost or damaged on the way to the client and you can't really do much about it, and it is always your loss. Next question. I know it is really personal, but do you want to have children in the future? Both me and my husband do not plan to have kids. It was never something on our wish list. Next question. Have you ever considered owning a blight in the future? I actually already have 2 blight dolls. You can see them in some of my past videos. Both have been customized by me. I've given them new bodies, made and installed new eyes, I made their wigs, painted face-ups, and so on. Okay, very last question of the day. Can you show us your old drawings? Sure, here are some of them. Most of these are from my time in high school, but next time I go to Europe to visit my family, I promise I will scan my oldest drawings to show you. And this is it, guys. What do you think of the result? I hope you like her. She was definitely really fun to draw. By the time this video goes live, I should definitely have the charms up on my Etsy store. So feel free to check the description for the link if you're interested. And next month it is Aries' turn. So leave any wishes or suggestions for the very last sign that is left for this series down in the comment section. Alright, it is time for me to go. Thank you so much for watching, take care, and I will talk to you again next time. Bye!